All right, the 4 most dangerous deadlift mistakes that lifters make. Now, pardon me, I've only got about half my voice today. Now, in the word dangerous, I'm not talking about you're going to get yourself injured. I'm talking about these are the type of mistakes that are going to hurt your deadlift progress. Because contrary to what a lot of people believe, the deadlift is actually a very safe, very effective exercise, very effective lift. But these are some mistakes that can hurt your progress real easily. Number 1, a sloppy, inconsistent setup. The deadlift is a unique animal. Unlike the squat where you carry the bar down on your back, so you're feeling the weight of the bar, you are balancing that weight already over the middle of your foot all the way down before you start the hard part, in other words, the upward, the ascent of the squat. The deadlift doesn't have that. You don't carry the bar down, especially for that first rep. And even on subsequent reps, you set the bar down real fast. So when you bend over to grab that bar, there's nothing telling you in the same way that it is in the squat. There's nothing telling you whether you're making silly mistakes, right? On the squat, in the descent, if you start to get forward onto the balls of your feet or backward onto your heels, the bar punishes you right away. You are rewarded for carrying the bar downward in the squat in an efficient, in an effective manner. That's not true in the deadlift, so you have the opportunity to accidentally make, and man, we see it all the time, a lot of silly mistakes in your deadlift setup. So, a real easy, a real effective way to make sure that you're doing it correctly is do the 5-step setup, the starting strength method, the 5-step setup for the deadlift. It's very efficient, it's very repeatable, and we'll link to our how to deadlift video below. But real quick summary here, it's stance, grip, shins, chest, pull. Have the same setup every single time. And then after you set that first rep down, assuming that you set it down over the middle of your foot, stance and grip, in other words, steps 1 and 2, should already be done for you if you set it down effectively. So then subsequent reps are simply shins, chest, pull, shins, chest, pull. In other words, steps 3, 4, 5. So don't have a sloppy, inconsistent setup. Number 2, rolling the bar around. This actually relates very closely to number 1, but you'll notice in that setup, we are not moving the bar around. We are lining up according to where the bar is, and for all subsequent reps after the first one, we're trying to set the bar down over the middle of your foot. All right, now, yeah, if we set it down a little bit forward or a little bit backwards, we may have to roll the bar a little bit, but it shouldn't be any of this rolling the bar forward and rolling the bar backwards. Yeah, I know you've seen some big guys on YouTube and stuff like that, deadlifting 800, 900 pounds. They're rolling the bar forward, they're rolling the bar backwards. Listen, these guys have deadlifted thousands upon thousands of reps, and they are deadlifting 800, 900, 1,000 pounds. They can do whatever they want. You are not them. I am not them. When you get to deadlift 800 pounds, I encourage you, do whatever you want. In the meantime, try to be efficient. Have that bar motionless on the floor. Treat it like it's on square plates, like you can't move it around, and you've got to line up correctly to the bar every single time. If that bar is even 1 inch, even a half an inch forward of the middle of your foot, it makes for a significantly harder deadlift, right? It's like holding a jug of milk way out in front of you versus very close to you, right? Now, granted, that's a big distance, and we're only talking about a half an inch or an inch, but we're talking about a very heavy jug of milk. So half an inch or an inch makes a big difference in your ability to effectively lift that weight off the floor. Mistake number 3, trying to raise your chest too soon. Yes, you will get vertical. Your back angle, your torso, it will get vertical eventually, but it does not start, at least not really, it does not start by doing so. You've got to think stay over the bar. You've got to think push the floor away. In other words, the deadlift starts with knee extension. Lifters who try to raise the chest too soon, in other words, they try to raise the chest right away off the floor, they try to get their torso vertical right away. As a result, their knees don't do what they should be doing. In other words, the knees should be gradually straightening right away, and as a result you end up pulling it around your knees, so you're not getting that nice vertical path over the middle of your foot. Now you're pulling the bar in a curved path, which is a longer deadlift, and B, it's not over the middle of your foot, so it's going to make for a harder deadlift anyway. Remember that whole jug of milk analogy I used earlier. So cue yourself to stay over the bar, push the floor away. Yes, if you look really closely, it is true that your back angle actually does start to become a little bit more vertical right away, but you want to think of it as all knees, in other words, knees straightening until the bar gets to your knees, and then it's all torso raising, or your back angle becomes vertical after your knees. Is that a little bit of an exaggeration? Yes, but it can be a very useful one. So it's knees first, and then your torso is going to raise, or technically your hips are going to open. Mistake number 4, a real simple one, having a compromised grip, all right? So for starters, you got to use chalk. If you're not using chalk, just quit deadlifting, all right? Use chalk when you're deadlifting. If you're at a gym that doesn't allow it, you got to sneak it in. You got to use liquid chalk, which they probably won't even know that you have anyway, or you just got to find another gym. But you got to use chalk for starters, and then you got to use either when the weight gets heavy enough, and don't wait until then. Start doing this beforehand. You either got to use a hook grip, or you've got to use a mixed grip, also known as an alternate grip or a switch grip, or you've got to use straps. Don't let grip be the limiting factor on your deadlift. If you let it be the limiting factor on your deadlift, you are missing out on the opportunity to get stronger legs, stronger hips, a stronger back. Don't miss out on that just because of your hands, right? Just because of your grip. As always, we hope this helps you get stronger and live better.